Hello everyone, this is The Big Fight and I'm Maria Shakil. Two contrasting images. One of Prime Minister Modi leaving the BJP headquarters around 3:30 a.m. after a late night meeting of the Central Election Committee of the party to discuss the names of candidates for the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. Second, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who has paused his Nyay Yatra, is speaking at the Cambridge University. Having set a target of 370 for itself, the BJP is appearing to be leaving nothing to chance. As the election dates near, how is the defender and the challenger preparing for the big battle is for everyone to see. BJP's mission Ram Temple has been achieved. 22nd January witnessed the grand consecration ceremony in Ayodhya. Article 370, another promise of the party since its inception in 1980, was done at the beginning of Mr. Modi's second tenure. And beating estimates, the GDP growth of 8.4% in the third quarter shows the strength of Indian economy and its potential. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asserted that the government will continue to make efforts to keep fast economic growth and help 140 crore Indians lead a better life and create a Viksit Bharat. Despite initial setbacks to its unity, the Congress Aam Aadmi Party's seat-sharing pact for Lok Sabha polls has been firmed up. In Uttar Pradesh, the Congress Samajwadi Party alliance has been decided. In neighbouring Bihar, Tejaswi Yadav and Rahul Gandhi are on the same page. The Mahavikas Aghadi has agreed on a formula in Maharashtra as well. Mamata Banerjee doesn't want to have any alliance with the Congress at the moment because of attacks from local leaders of the Congress party. And in other states too, India Bloc is stitching together a plan. But in this battle of narratives and perception, images of India Bloc Sutradhar in Nitish Kumar jumping the ship, several senior leaders of Congress saying goodbye to the party and joining the BJP doesn't augur well. So who has the momentum and which side is still on inertia? We debate on The Big Fight tonight. Joining me on the show, Rohan Gupta, representing the Congress, Shehzad Poonawalla, spokesperson of the BJP here in the studio. We have senior journalist Aditi Fadnis here in the studio, Sajjan Kumar, political analyst, Pulla Rao, senior journalist, Javed Ansari, senior journalist. We also have Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist. I'm going to begin with the opening punch. 1 minute to all, beginning with the politicians. Shehzad, your opening comments.
You know, the elections of 2024 are essentially between two templates of politics. One is PDA, performance, development and ability, and the other is Parivarik Dalon ka appeasement alliance. One hand is Modi ki guarantee 8.4% GDP growth rate. One is Ram Lalla, Rashtriya Suraksha, Arthvyavastha, Mahila, Labharti, leadership and Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is about Gita, growth, infrastructure, technology and taking the Arthvyavastha forward. That is our Ram Lalla and Gita, and that's what we do, something that we have promised, whether it's removal of Article 370, whether it's ensuring national security, whether it is ensuring that the Ram Mandir is built and the Bhavya Ram Mandir ka Pran Pratishtha takes place. All of these are promises that we've done before and we've delivered on them. On the other hand, when we have mission and vision for the country, they have confusion, contradiction, division, only obsession with Modi and only confusion. Look at this. In Delhi, they have an alliance. In Punjab, they are fighting against each other. Just yesterday, Bhagwant Mann has said Congress is a Beiman party. In Kerala, they are fighting against each other, where Rahul Gandhi has been told to leave Wayanad and they are having an alliance in Bengal. In Bengal, Trinamool Congress does not want to touch the Congress party. And ever since Rahul Gandhi has gone on his yatra, now it's gone to Videsh, you can see that from Guwahati to Chowpatty, leaders are saying bye-bye. From Milind Deora to Mamata Banerjee to Mayawati, everyone is saying bye-bye.
Your time is up on this. And Rohan, your opening comment, please.
See, Maria, first of all, this is the fight between people's issue and arrogance of BJP. The way they have decided to kill the democracy. The whole country is watching BJP every day, whether it is a Chandigarh Kand or whether you see Himachal, any state. You see that they are misusing the agency and ensuring that democracy has been killed. Apart from that, there is a challenge to the people. The promises made by their Prime Minister 10 years ago, whether it's doubling the farmers' income, 2 crore jobs, 5 trillion economic, giving 15 lakhs to the people of this country, giving house to every Indian. So where are these promises? Are these not Modi's guarantee? Why they are not fulfilled? People of country are asking. At the same time, the opposition alliance, they are fighting strongly. We are not making it a big hawa of what we are doing, but concretely we are ensuring that we raise the issues of people. Our Nyay Yatra is going well and we are giving Nyay to the people. Wherever we are in states, we are demonstrating that for us, issue of people are more important than showing it to the people that what we are. It's not about our arrogance. What we are doing is we are taking up issues of people. The fight is between the arrogance of BJP and the people of this country, the Swabhiman of this country, and we are with the people in this fight. We will ensure that the voice of democracy is not crushed. Come what may, we will fight it out and ensure that arrogance of BJP is defeated. Thank you.
Right on time, 1 minute. That is very well summed up. Aditi Fadnis here in the studio. Let's begin the first punch of all the analysts.
So it's interesting that this is a fight between two very unequal partners, and I fear that the inequality will become even deeper as we go along. It's true that alliance partners of the Congress far outnumber the alliance partners of the BJP, which actually tells its own tale. But it's also true that many alliance partners have crossed the floor and have joined the BJP, preferring to go there than to stay with the Congress. So in many ways it is a clash of not two civilizations, but the clash of two, how shall I put it, very independent thinking allies. You could call them arrogant as well. It's the clash of two sets of people who are very headstrong. I think in terms of ideological clarity, the Congress is still to put out what it really believes in, whereas the BJP is very clear about what it believes in.
Okay.
You might like it, you might not, but that's it.
I'm coming back to you, ma'am. Yes, Javed Ansari.
So look, as far as preparations and optics go, the BJP is certainly way ahead. They've set the agenda, they've set the pace, and the India alliance, for whatever it's worth and wherever it exists, is playing catching up. They could and ought to have done a lot better, and the fact that the BJP has a bouquet of issues, as was enumerated by Shehzad. The issues that Mr. Rohan Gupta spoke of, yes, you need to have an issue. The India Alliance is still in search of an issue which will connect with the people. Democracy in danger, saving constitution is all very well. It's good for us. It's enough fodder for us to debate in studios. But whether it resonates with people, how much it resonates, and whether this will turn votes remains to be seen.
Okay. Let's have the opening punch also from Dr. Pullara.
Yes, basically I think both alliances have learned from the past. The BJP alliance, led by Narendra Prime Minister Modi, remembers 2004, when everything seemed well and then suddenly everything collapsed. So they're taking all care, lot of care on every issue, and they don't want their overconfidence or seeming success to kind of give them the surprise, the shock surprise. Elections still hold surprises. Elections are unpredictable. Similarly, India Alliance remembered their overconfidence in 2019 when they thought after winning Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, the wind was their way. They were very, very casual about alliances. Now they have lost ally partners. They have lost Nitish Kumar. They have lost Uttar Pradesh here and there. But whatever they have, they try to go ahead. And the one thing that I find in India alliances, in some states where they were very lax last time, they believe, I think they're focusing the Congress party on about 100 seats. They don't want that wide 450 seats and get nothing. So they are making preparations. It will be a more equal fight than we anticipate.
Okay, so that's interesting. We have two differing opinions right here on the show. Unequal fight or equal fight, but one party appears to be on a pole position, who has an advantage and who is appearing to be better prepared. Sajjan Kumar.
Yeah, if you see in the war of perception, which actually starts before the actual electoral process, the opposition and primarily Congress has already, it seems to have lost the war of perception in terms of the optics, in terms of the anticipation. This is one. Second, with BJP, you see the leader, party and the support base, they are completely in sync, and that gives the party and the leadership to do some creative experiment. One, they are reportedly going for a younger profile in terms of fielding the candidates. Two, more subaltern profile, wherein OBCs, Dalits and tribals may be fielded. And also they are reaching out, minded, beyond their comfort zone. So be it the Dravidian base in Tamil Nadu and other southern state, or the reaching out to the Christians in Kerala and also in northeastern states, within the Muslims, the Pasmanda Muslims. So that way the party is becoming a fulcrum of the non-left spaces, and that way we see that this election the BJP is utilizing to offer itself as an umbrella party which ideologically is close to the left but is open to every section.
Okay, so my last guest on the show, Amitabh Tiwari, your opening comment. Who is battle ready?
See, to check who is battle ready, we have to essentially see or evaluate both on 5 to 6 factors. First is the PM phase, because the elections are becoming fairly presidential style. So NDA has a clear PM phase, Bloc does not have. Then is the question of sealing of alliances. Both are almost on equal footing, but India has received some setbacks in the form of JDU and RLD switching from India to NDA. Then is the selection of candidates, and we've seen that at least on perception, BJP is ahead, that it is about to declare almost 100 candidates. Then we come to the campaign theme. The campaign theme for BJP is clear, once again Modi, and they have also released a campaign song, Isliye log kyun Modi ko chunte hain, whereas there is no such thing at least finalized from the India bloc. Then we have the vision. The vision of NDA is also clear. They want India to be the third largest economy in the third term of Modi, and also a developed country by 2047, whereas the vision of India bloc is not itself clear.
Okay. So, in terms of issue, what is it that is making, that is giving BJP confidence, and what is it that is giving the India bloc confidence? And they are continuing with the Nyay Yatra, although it has taken a little break. Rohan Gupta and Shehzad Poonawala now on the screen, please. Let me begin with the politicians. The larger question is, Rohan, that you do not really have an alternate idea that you're taking the BJP on. What is this alternate narrative with which you're entering this election?
Maria, alternate idea is very clear. It's not the perceptional growth or rosy picture. It is the real growth of people, the real issues of people, the real development of people. When we talk, if you talk about numbers, see, BJP is good in marketing. They will do big advertisements. But when you see the delivery on ground, the per capita income of India is now below per capita income of Bangladesh. Is this the growth? If you see the last 10 years, obviously since our population is high, if you see the GDP overall, it's obviously going to be higher amount. But when you say per capita GDP, we are lower than Bangladesh. Happiness index, hunger index, where are we going? Out of 125 countries, we are slipping down. So if you see the parameters on paper, I think the achievement of BJP is not much. Apart from that, they are talking about 400 par and all. I'll give you the real facts on ground, whether it is Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka, Telangana, Bengal. These are the 5 states. They had won around 155 to 166 last time. I'm 100% sure BJP is going to lose at least 80 seats on ground. Apart from that is consolidation of
but
vote
what
of
is giving
India
you
bloc.
confidence that you will make gains? If the BJP is losing, how are you making gains? On what basis are you making gains?
There are absolutely very good question. If you see why India bloc is going to make gain is we are raising issues of people. When you talk about Nyay, we are talking and we are giving concrete ideas. We are not like BJP that when Congress offers cylinder at particular price, they go into competition. Before that, they tell it revdi, and after that, they themselves go and offer. Why? Because the opposition party has started this kind of campaign in favor of people. The guarantees of Congress party, now BJP is copying up. So our idea is very clear. We are going to give concrete targets to people, which is time bound and which we are going to deliver.
No, my point is also, Rohan, we do not see a joint agenda of opposition. Joint agenda of the opposition cannot be defeat Modi.
No, absolutely not. It has to be positive agenda. And that's what we see. The joint agenda of India bloc is what we have to protect our democracy. People are not realizing today, whatever Hawa BJP is trying to create, like India shining, it is going to collapse. People
Okay.
are not going
So
to
this is
benefit
another
somewhere.
India
The
shining
basic
moment
right of democracy.
is
Give me
what-
30 seconds,
what the
Maria.
Congress
Give me
feels.
30 seconds.
Okay,
I just want to
okay.
complete one small
You've been
sentence.
extremely
Okay,
liberal.
okay, one moment.
The basic right of people of democracy. We have seen that BJP's power hunger is such that out of 36 votes in Chandigarh, they are not able to stop themselves from stealing that vote. What will happen to people tomorrow? They can do anything to them. So this is the basic idea that at the end of the day, we have to save our democracy.
So
at the same
democracy
time, we have to
khatre
talk
mein hai.
about the issues of people.
Okay, democracy khatre mein hai is
And,
the main idea.
Maria,
Please go
you would
ahead.
have observed that I heard my co-panelist very patiently, so I hope he won't interrupt me. Let's examine this idea of democracy. Although you asked him what's your alternative model and he only criticized us, didn't give any positive model, but we'll come to that in 20 seconds. Democracy khatre mein hai. In Punjab, when Khera is arrested, Aam Aadmi Party ne democracy ko khatre mein laya. In Bengal, Adhir Ranjan ji says Rashtrapati Shasan laga do, Mamta ne democracy ko khatre mein laya. Pinarayi Vijayan, when he arrests Sudhakaran, they say that the communists are khatra for democracy. तो मतलब ये democracy जिसके साथ खतरे में है उन्हीं के साथ democracy बचाना है. I mean hypocrisy का poster boy बनना है तो India Alliance है. Now let's come to the real figures. I gave a model, Ram Lalla and Geeta. I explained what Ram Lalla and Geeta is. Let me give you data because I never talk without data. The rank of the economy in 2014, 10th, now 5th. Poverty headcount, 30%, now 11%. 25 crore out of poverty. 304 billion was the FDI inflow, today 642 billion. CPI inflation under UPA, 10%, today it's 5.5%. Capex investment by UPA, 3.92 lakh crore, today it's 11 lakh crores. Direct tax to GDP, 5.6% under there, 6.11% up to us. Now the per capita income has doubled. The per capita income of middle class has quadrupled. The number of airports built in the last 60 years, 70, today 144. The number of highways built, 11 kilometers per day, today 37 kilometers per day. So I can go on and on. These are hard facts that can't be denied. But let's even go further. They used to have a model called the Himachal model. They said 1500 to every woman in Himachal. How many women have got it, Maria? 300 units free to every person in Himachal. How many people got it? They said महंगाई बहुत ज़्यादा है. We said okay. They have increased the diesel price by 6 rupees in Himachal. And by the way, there was election in 5 states. In that they had 2 state governments, which Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. In both of them, they lost. We had a state government in Madhya Pradesh. After 18 years, we came back to power. You know why? Unemployment in Madhya Pradesh, 2%. Unemployment in Rajasthan, 20%. And so, that's why on delivery, and last 10 seconds. Now, the last 10 seconds is that what is it that you are offering to the people as a vision forward? All that you heard Rohan do was criticize BJPs, this, democracy, that, and so contradictory. On the one hand, he says that the Chandigarh verdict was given by the Supreme Court. That means the Supreme Court is free and fair. But yet Rahul Gandhi goes to Videshi soil and says Supreme Court is not being allowed to give judgments. The Chief Justice of India or the courts are not free and fair. And on the other hand, they are quoting the same Supreme Court and saying that, see, the judgment has come from Supreme Court.
Okay.
So there is no consistency in what they say.
Okay, so
the ultimate point is, last. Now in Modi Virod, they have started abusing Hindu religion. What has their Udaynidhi Stalin said? Sanatan samapt kar denge. What have they taken a stand on Ram Mandir? What was the stand of RJD on Ramcharitmanas? What was the stand of their other leaders like Priyank Kharge on Sanatan Dharma? So now they can't find any alternative.
Okay.
तो वोट बैंक के लिए मोदी को गाली देते देते ये हिंदू समाज को गाली देते हैं.
Aditya Fadnis, when you say unequal battle, let's not forget that it was supposed to be one opposition versus one of the BJP. Where did it all fizzle out?
Well, I think that was a big tactical mistake, right? Just as using a jumla was a tactical mistake, one against one and raising this expectation that there would be one candidate against one BJP candidate, maybe they should not have raised that expectation. If they had not, nobody would have been disappointed today. And everybody knew that at the state level, alliances will be struck or not struck as the case may be. Mr. Kharge has been saying that from day one. So maybe raising that expectation and creating this chimera that there will be one against one was not the right thing to do.
Okay, so that was like really, creating a narrative which they would not have arrived at, perhaps gone with the previous strategies as they have been talking about a post-poll alliance, Javed Ansari. We have seen in the past, history has it, that whenever this group comes together of unequal parties without any ideology, no sticking point except that they are all in opposition, then they stitch together only in post-opposition scenario.
It's not correct. That's not correct at all.
2004, yes.
2004, Janta Dal.
Yes.
There were 12 disparate parties. They came together, formed one party, Janata Party.
No, but they came together and formed a party.
Formed a party,
Yes.
Janata Party.
Yes.
United Front.
Here there
United
are opposition
Front.
parties in various states
Maria, I
who have
think
taken on Modi in those states like Mamata Banerjee has, Tejasvi Yadav has. So, and then they came together understanding fully well that they have those regional ambitions. So those conflicting ambitions meant that it could be about a post poll. You win your states and come back and let's sit together.
Politics is the art of managing contradictions.
Yes.
Otherwise, why have Nitish Kumar and Modi ji come together? Mr. Flip Flop and Modi ji, why have they come together? Why did Paswan, who used to tell us कि मैं जहर का प्याला पी लूंगा लेकिन मैं बीजेपी में नहीं जाऊंगा, but why did they come? So you have to manage contradictions. You have to act within.
So do you think then in this particular case there is that person who can manage contradictions is not there?
That person, that towering personality like JP or like Vishwanath Pratap
Yes.
Singh, that's not around. And I
Yes.
think the big tactical mistake they made was to wait for the elections to results of the 5 states to come out and then approach the seat sharing arrangement. Perhaps the Congress felt that they will win. They were under the mistaken impression that they are going to win at least
And they
4.
will have a better bargaining
Then
power.
they will bargain from a position of strength. The results were reversed. If they had tied up these arrangements, see, the problem is everybody says that we must sacrifice to defeat the government. But everybody wants the other person to sacrifice. Nobody is willing to collectively. And they don't have a central figure. And neither do they have that one binding issue like in 89 you had
Yes.
the Bofors issue. They don't have that one issue which can act as a cement, as a fulcrum around which. And the Congress party is no longer that towering party which could, around which.
And others would have faith in
Yes,
what the Congress is proposing.
And Congress is finding it very difficult to reconcile itself to this reality. The sooner they had done it, the better they would have been.
So, Rohan Gupta, is the Congress not realizing where it has lost already? That it is living in some kind of nostalgia of the past?
Absolutely not, Maria. I think you are also somewhere carried away by the perception was BJP is trying to create. We have seen 2004 India shining. What happened? The reality on ground is different, Maria. People vote on what is happening to them, what change the government is making in their life. They don't vote just like that okay, Mr. Modi is campaigning, 400 par hum kar दें. ऐसा नहीं होता. हमारी लाइफ में क्या चेंज हुआ? Is unemployment reduced? No, it is not. Is inflation going down? No, it is not. If you see last 10 years, see the real numbers. Again, I am telling you, when we talk about numbers, Mr. Sehzad was giving this happened, that. Obviously, any government which is working, they will do something. But what about the goalpost? You are shifting your goalpost. You told that the farmers' income will be double. Has it double? Farmers are on road to fight out their rights. They are not even allowed to enter Delhi. And they are talking about farmers. You have seen in UP what has happened to 2 child girls. What has happened? Well, what about women's security? Nothing is happening. They are talking about 2 crores job every year to the youth. 10 years, give me the list of 20 crores job. It has not happened. They had promised that every Indian will be given house. Where is it? So you are changing your goalposts. Obviously, any government is there. They will do some work here and there. You cannot keep it counting. You have to see whatever you have promised, whether you have delivered or not, yes or no.
So it will be on the report card that Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised Shehzad, and he has to show that report card of 10 years to the people.
I think that is the best thing for us. In fact, wherever we go, we talk about the Modi ki guarantee. And Rohan, please hear me out very carefully. And I quote only data, and all of this is data that you can get from online or from the agencies. No, Maria, this is not the way. Maria, this is not the way. Maria, I'm not yielding. Maria, I'm not yielding. I'm not yielding.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me make my point. He can come back in later for a comment.
Yes.
Okay.
Prior to 2013, the LFPR, Labour Force Participation Rate, was below 45. Today it is 58, despite the 2 challenges that we faced, which is the COVID crisis and also the high prices because of Ukraine-Russia war. The workforce participation rate was below 45. Today it is above 56. The EPFO data that you can clearly see has said about the additions of at least 15 crore new accounts. I'm talking about 18 to 25 were not in the field before. You can take that, and then there's the 44 crore mudra loans. Even if you take 1 job for every 3 loans, you can add it all up and see. The number of highways have doubled in the construction pace. Who do you think is working? People from Rome? When the number of airports have been built in 7 years, has not been built in 70 years, who do you think is working on them? People coming from Italy? They're coming from India. Anyways, now let me complete my next point. He said about Mahila. Maria, I think this picture should tell you something. This is Sandesh Khali's picture. This is Shah Jahan Sheikh, who was taken to custody. He's showing a victory sign. You know, like the Mughals used to keep Hindu women in their harem and they used to do this. This is Shah Jahan of the modern age. And Priyanka Vadra hasn't said a word. In fact, Khadge ji came out and said that this kind of incidents take place. In fact, on the other hand, you look, whenever there is a BJP person, we have not defended. Neither booth level leader nor Prime Minister will defend. Manipur, he'll say next. Manipur, even though it was between two communities, we were the ones who condemned it even in Parliament. But here is what Shah Jahan is doing, but not a word from Priyanka Vadra because politics hai, vote bank hai. Now Shah Jahan can't be made upset.
Okay.
And final point, look, again, I am saying what are they offering? Divide India in North and South. DK Suresh said that independence should be given to South Indian states. Divide India into castes. These are the people who did not give an OBC Prime Minister, our current Prime Minister, an OBC Prime Minister. They didn't give an OBC Prime Minister, they opposed Mandal and they talk about caste, dividing people in caste. And we are offering a great India's vision which will last for 1,000 years. This is the difference between us and them. And last difference. Their alliance, Lalu says Tejasvi ko vote do, Sonia says Rahul ko vote do, Udayanidhi ko vote do, says Stalin. Modi says, मैं आपके बच्चों के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ. Modi has no family in politics.
Okay.
Modi is saying, I work for your children. Sonia is saying, I'll work for my son. Stalin is saying, I'll work for my son. Lalu is saying, I'll work for my son. That's the difference between us.
You know, when Nitish Kumar joined the alliance, it, you know, one of the sticking point of this India bloc was a demand of caste census. That is not on the surface anymore. So when it is about narrative setting, what is your narrative? What is it you're telling the people that India bloc ka ye issue hai? What is that one issue? Rohan.
Can you just, your voice is breaking. Can you just repeat, please?
Yes, so I'm saying what is one issue of India bloc? Earlier it was caste census, which we heard also in the last set of assembly elections. Now that issue is no longer the talking point.
So basic issue is holistic growth, not lopsided growth. Not growth for the 3% of top friends or suit booth. The growth of every Indian, where the per capita income is increasing, where the farmers get the MSP. Can Mr. Shehzad promise MSP on your debate? No. He will talk everything, but he will not be able to promise. I can show speech of Mr. Modi in 2013 where he has promised that first cabinet meeting, we will ensure that we will pass this bill. I have that clip. I dare him to give promise of MSP. He will give all the different speeches, but he will not talk on that. See, the idea is what? When he talks about Modi's guarantee, my question was very simple. Has Mr. Modi delivered what he has promised? The answer is no. I am not saying that government does not work. I am not saying that. But has he delivered what is promised?
Okay.
Is Modi's guarantee? No.
Okay.
Whatever we have said in states, wherever we have delivered. So that's a difference. Don't speak in between. Let me complete.
10
right,
seconds,
20 seconds.
When you expect me to not speak,
I won't take more.
Don't speak in between.
1 moment.
Let me complete. Right? You are speaking in between.
Yes, go ahead, Rohan. Rohan, go ahead, please.
So Shehzad, question is very simple. आपने जो प्रॉमिस किया डिलीवर किया नहीं किया नई गोली मत दीजिए पहले पुरानी गोली का आंसर दीजिए और दूसरा you are talking about farmers. You have no right to talk about farmers because farmers are waiting for their right. Idea is very simple. हवा पानी बंद कीजिए. इंडिया शाइनिंग का गुब्बारा जैसे फूटा है वैसे ही आपके 400 पार का गुब्बारा फूटने वाला है. 5 seconds.
5 seconds each. MSP, by the way, which Swaminathan Commission recommended, was recommended in 2006 till 14. They did not implement it. We implemented it.
Can you promise it?
Please, Maria.
Okay.
Maria.
Rohan.
Please. I won't interrupt anybody.
This is NDTV and the big fight.
Please, I don't interrupt
don't
anybody.
Outshout each other. Please. Okay, both of you.
Please.
Shehzad
I
and
did
Rohan,
not interrupt anybody.
Let's follow
MSP
the decorum.
payment for paddy, 4 to 14, 4 lakh crores. Today, 12.5 lakh crores. For PV, 2 lakh crores in their term, 5.5 lakh crores for our term. And highest ever food credit production, and our MSP for pulses has increased by 79 times. But one question, Kerala does not have MSP, by the way. You know, APMC is not valid there. Now I want to ask Rohan, when will MSP come in Kerala?
Okay. Before he answers that.
On holistic growth, can I say one line? Just one line on holistic growth.
Are you promising
one line
MSP?
on holistic growth.
Is your government
He's interrupting again.
Okay,
one line on holistic growth. One line on holistic growth.
So you don't do this. You don't moderate.
Rohan, I don't interrupt. I like a civilized debate.
No, Shehzad, 1 moment. Shehzad and Rohan, there are others in the discussion who have to be brought in.
I have taken very less time compared to Maria. Please be fair to me.
There are others who are...
Yes, I have not interrupted anybody. I'll write one line on holistic growth. One line.
Who are you
Holistic
to ask me question? Yeah?
holistic growth is measured by something Sajan will tell you, he's from JNU, by Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient 2014 was 0.47, it is 0.40 today. That means it has come down, which means that there's more equality today. Facts,
130
numbers.
seats in the southern India, that has been the challenge of the BJP. In 2019, the party won just 30, 25 of which came from Karnataka. It's a state that the BJP doesn't have in its kitty at present. Yes, it went up from what they had in 2014, almost like 17% jump. But overall, are you seeing some kind of pattern or a strategy in place given the kind of tours that the Prime Minister is doing of southern India? Are you seeing them that this is, yes, a catchment area, but can they make those gains?
Definitely in the last 10 years, Narendra Modi and the BJP leadership have made themselves familiar in South India. They were very, very distant earlier. They have made themselves familiar. And Narendra Modi himself, by touring relentlessly, he has been able to connect. Well, that will translate to votes in the immediate future to make it enough to win a seat. That's doubtful. From 4%, they may go up to 10%. From 10% and 12%, 13% in Kerala, they may go up to 20%. Or in Andhra to some percent. But that critical mass needed to win seats, they're still away from that, but they're growing. They're growing incrementally in the south of India, and I think it is their efforts. They're constantly doing that canvassing there, what is called carpet bombing, in politics. They're going there. They're not leaving anything, one after the other. They have become familiar.
Yes, so Prime Minister is now seen as a familiar face in southern India. But what about the fact that he made that connect with Ram Temple, that the entire Ramayan trail? Do you think that can have some connect? Or does that have some kind of resonance with people?
Basically, every year you have 2% new voters joining in all these states. And they are the catchment area. Those who have been voting for 30, 40 years for Communist or Congress party in Kerala, they are not going to switch tomorrow. The new voters, they are focusing on them. The new voters are more open, who have been communicating all around the country, more access, more education, all of that. They are getting that. But that takes time. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Don't forget one thing. Uttar Pradesh, they came to power after 41 years after the BJP was formed.
That's
and
right.
Bihar, they're still not in power. They're still a minority party. They're getting there slowly. They're familiar figure. If they have some alliances, they're going to score. As the Prime Minister keeps saying, we're going to get a surprising result in the south, minus Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra, Telangana and Tamil Nadu. He says they got 4 seats last time out of 104.
That's
he
right.
says we're going to get more. That's possible. They may get more. They're looking for allies, and therefore they're going to do better this time than the last time.
Okay. So does that, should that worry the opposition, Sajjan?
Yeah, certainly. Its opposition is facing primarily existential.
And particularly at a time when the Congress is continuing to build that narrative of North versus South.
That's the problem with the Congress, that they are raising the issues that traditionally has been a taboo within the Congress, be it about the OBC caste census, be it about the south and north of India's, be it about the ethnic fault lines, etc. And why it should worry the opposition, regional parties and Congress also, because you see, BJP on the ground in terms of the people's perception is representing a politics of aspiration. And a new generation across the ideological and the social spectrum, from the Dalit tribals to the upper caste and middle class to the rural gentries, they are looking for someone which they relate to in terms of which answers their anxiety but also gives them a sense of aspiration. And that way you see BJP's grammar of politics is continuously creatively changing. They are responding to the aspiration. Whether they fulfill it or whether there is a gap between the promise and fulfillment is a subject of debate. But at least they are a fulcrum of that aspirational politics. Compared to that, if you see, the regional party, be it RJD or Samajwadi Party or be it Congress, they are still going back to the era of Mandal politics. The politics of 1980s about one identity versus other identity fault line. So that way certainly it should not worry the opposition parties, but rather it should they should be more worried about losing out a new generation, wherein the globally you see the parties which cater to people's anxiety and aspiration are being chosen frequently compared to the ones who are always romanticizing a golden past. So that is something is the crisis at the root of the crisis of the entire opposition party, be it the Dravidian golden past or the Nehruvian golden past. That is not going to take you far. And that way party needs to give more creative spaces to the people who want to experiment rather than holding on to the forte. And that is something which is happening within Congress and all the regional party wherein the dynasty is controlling the party.
So basically a new lexicon, a new grammar of politics, as you said. Yes,
Only
Mr.
one
Pandara.
small point. Where the Congress party is losing, in my opinion, is they're going back 40 years, 50 years. The country has changed. As he has said, they want a new grammar. They want new words. They want a new lexicon. And that the Congress party is failing. Talking about those old ideas, which don't resonate anymore in the country.
Amitabh Tiwari, talking about a 3:30 a.m. meeting and then Prime Minister being in another battleground at 8 a.m., being hands-on in strategy, being seen as part of the government. On Sunday, there is an important Council of Ministers meeting. He's meeting bureaucrats. He's meeting party men. Is this all preparation for something? Or as Rohan says, that this is some kind of gubbara?
See, optics do matter in politics, and what the audience or the voter is seeing is that the Prime Minister is working for long hours. He has launched the campaign of the BJP today, while the Prime Minister in designate candidate of the Congress party is missing from the country. So these optics do matter. First of all, the opposition needs to understand that any government in India cannot win without working for the people. So that is the first thing they have to admit, that yes, the government has done something good for the people. That's why it is winning number one. You mentioned about India, how and why it failed, or it has not risen up to its expectations. So people who use Excel a lot, there is an error called a circular reference. So if you use a lot of complex formula, you get an error of circular reference. Last year, Congress won Telangana at the expense of a regional party. Congress won Karnataka, bulldozing a regional party, Janata Dal Secular, while the BJP's vote share remained constant. West Bengal, TMC won West Bengal, squeezing Congress to 0. AAP won Punjab, again defeating Congress. Samajwadi Party gained vote share at the expense of Congress and other regional parties. So Congress gains at the expense of the regional parties. Regional parties are gaining at the expense of Congress, with the BJP's vote share largely constant. And that is the root cause or the problem of any alliance of regional parties which the Congress wants to lead, because there will be a trust deficit between the partners because they have gained or formed at the expense of each other. And one last point on the south of India, when people say that BJP did not win any seat out of 104 or odd seats in the 4 states, it won 303 out of 543 without winning any seat in that state.
That's right.
BJP is the largest party in South India. People don't recollect that. It has higher number of seats than Congress. Then people might say that, oh, that's only from one state, Karnataka. But that's the point also with Congress, which is on most of the seats are from Kerala. The advantage of BJP in South India is that all these states are with different regional parties and they are not together. And that helps the BJP, because neither YSRCP nor BRS nor the CPM is largely with any of these blocks.
Okay.
So
that's very well summed up. So let's start wrapping up this discussion, and I'm going to begin with you, Aditi Fadnis, and starting with the topic of the big fight tonight, which is who has the edge and who is more battle ready, and which are the vote catching issues on both the sides.
Well, at this point it's a bit hard to say, right, because neither side has opened its cards. They have not, there's a lot of like razzmatazz going on around the BJP. They haven't really declared a single candidate yet. Neither is the Congress, neither has anybody. So it's a bit premature to say who has the edge. Until you know who the candidates are, it's hard to understand who has the edge. But certainly, I mean, the popular perception is that the BJP has the edge, and I'm sure it will do extremely well. In fact, it will probably surpass the Prime Minister's seat.
You're saying it will be above 370, as the Prime Minister said on the floor of the House?
My own feeling is that it will go above that, but
BJP on its own?
BJP on its own.
Where are the seats coming from, according to you?
We have to wait and see until the candidates are announced.
Okay.
If the Prime Minister, for instance, as is the rumor, shifts his seat from Varanasi to Kanyakumari, well, then it will have a domino effect, right? In Tamil Nadu, the Prime Minister has come to Tamil Nadu and it will have a certain appeal to voters in Tamil Nadu. So I don't know what the BJP is thinking, but if that happens, well, then all bets are off on all fronts.
Okay. Javed Ansari, this is not really 2004.
Well, it is certainly not 2004, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's the BJP.
And it could be in 1984 instead, when Rajiv Gandhi got the highest number ever in Indian political history.
Could be, but doesn't definitely necessarily mean that it will be. And let's not make too much of these 3 a.m. meetings. This is not the first time that Prime Ministers have worked throughout the night and held election meetings. It happened much before. It's happened earlier. Aditi will bear me out that when Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, he did the same. Because Prime Ministers have a lot of other things to do, and then electioneering comes late. Yes, the BJP in terms of preparation, in terms of optics, is certainly far ahead, and I won't be surprised if they come back for a third term again. Whether they will get 370, whether if at all they'll be able to go past 400 that Rajiv Gandhi had. Don't forget, Rajiv Gandhi had 400 on his own, 414 or 400,
Yes, 414.
414 on his own. If that happens, then all praise to the BJP. But I don't certainly see that happening.
Okay.
You see the kind of preparation the BJP is doing and has, the Congress doesn't require that. It has to only take care of a few states. The regional parties are very well organized. The regional parties are doing very well in their own states. Say West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or for that matter, Himachal Pradesh and Jharkhand, they are organized. The Congress party doesn't have to be busy there.
Sir, if they are organized in Himachal, then we'll have to redefine the meaning of the word reorganized.
They are organized. They have saved their government. They are organized. They don't require the kind of action. Whether they win seats or not, we have to see final results. You know, Modi's party is leading in Himachal and other places, but they are organized. They don't require so much of organization at the present day. Congress has got its own autopilot system. Telangana, Karnataka, Himachal, there is no need of this leadership going there. And perhaps the biggest weakness of the Congress, in my opinion, is the senior leaders who were there guiding it all along. Nobody is present on the scene to give that kind of brain power, experience, contact and prestige. They are not there. That is the biggest problem for the Congress today.
There's a huge vacuum here.
A huge vacuum. You know, I'm sorry to say this. You look around. Who are the leaders? There are 3 or 4 leaders from Karnataka and Kerala, and that's it. The others, there are 15, 20 ex-chief ministers of the Congress today. They have no work, ex-cabinet ministers. They all can contribute something. They are not involved. And that is the biggest problem that the Congress has created for itself.
So people's management or HR challenges, as it is said.
They're avoided, they're ignored.
Political management. I will be asking that question to Rohan Gupta and Shehzad in just a bit, but let me wrap up first the closing comments from Amitabh and Sajjan. Sajjan, please go ahead.
Yeah, look, the irony, if you see India in terms of states with the Congress and leadership is that they are fascinated with UP wherein they have neither the social base nor the organization. But when the time comes, both Priyanka and Rahul will spend most of their time rather than spending into a state wherein they can improve a bit, be it Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Himachal, etc. or Punjab. They chose to spend most of the time when elections are not near into the UP. But when the Ram temple consecration is happening, they are missing from that. And that is why I agree with my co-panelists that Congress needs to focus on a couple of states rather than dispersing their energy across India. That could be Karnataka, that could be Telangana, maybe in Kerala also. But if you chose to fight a battle wherein you have no base, that is the Hindi heartland, certainly you are going to lose. But there are all the wrong clues that Congress is guided by, and where it should concentrate its energy is not happening. And that way BJP is lucky on 2 parameters. One, its base, leadership and party is completely in sync. And 2, it has an opposition whose anchor is completely without clue.
Okay. Amitabh, what is working, what's not working? Let's go with what is the BJP not doing right?
The BJP has too much dependence on the Prime Minister. So if you remove Prime Minister from the equation, then the contest becomes very close. In 2019, 1 out of every 3 voters voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister Modi. And this number is likely to increase only in 2019. So that's one of the big challenges of BJP today.
There's over-dependence on Prime Minister Modi.
Yeah, and they are expected to replace a lot of MPs. Last time they had replaced some 37% of sitting MPs. And this time as well, I believe the number will be higher because of anti-incumbency brewing against them. And what is working for the BJP is again the Prime Minister Modi, because he is largely the difference between these two things. However, there are two data points. One is that 31% of voters in India are loyal voters, or the rest of them are not loyal. They switch from one party to another, and 25 to 30% finally decide whom to vote for just 2 to 3 days or on the day of voting, as per CSTS. So these two data points show that, of course, no election is a foregone conclusion.
Yes.
However, there are favorites, and BJP clearly is the favorite.
Yes. So the election, as they say, is for, let's not second guess the results, but now trying to sum it up with Rohan and Shehzad. Rohan, could the Congress have taken this election, particularly the leadership, more seriously? I mean, a Nyay Yatra, which has been criticized by your allies, and Rahul Gandhi going to Cambridge when the seat sharing talks should be taking place.
See, Maria, if you see questions regarding Congress party, the questions were asked was why there is no precedent outside Gandhi family. Congress has answered that question. Now Mr. Kharge is leading the party. Those questions are over. परिवारवाद, भ्रष्टाचार, सारे सवाल के जवाब भाजपा ने अजीत पवार को लेकर दे दिए. सारे, मतलब they have answered all their questions. Why I am happy and why I am confident, there are two reasons. When your opponent is in air, when the result on ground is not good and your opposition air, you should be happy. Whatever our respected panelists are saying, same thing were repeated in 2004. I am not overconfident, but the ground reality, Maria, is different. If BJP had changed the ground reality, I would have been afraid. Why I am not afraid, or why I am confident that why we are working strongly on ground? Because we know that BJP is not able to change the ground reality. Through Bharat Jodo Yatra, we have completed 355 constituencies. Every day we are, at Lok Sabha, we have now control rooms. We are monitoring what is happening on ground. So that's what I'm saying, Maria. I'm not saying BJP definitely is trying to create perception. But people vote on the basis of what has changed around them.
So perception
we are concentrating on
versus
that. We are concentrating
reality.
on the basic. Yeah.
So perception versus reality. Shehzad, the last word. Go ahead.
People of this country will know that there was a time when 26/11 took place, and I know about how it affected us. And at that time, our response was mute and meek. Today, when somebody talks about attacking Uri, we do surgical strike. When somebody does an attack on Pulwama, we do Balakot airstrike. We don't stop and we don't look around our shoulders. Today, the big terror attacks have stopped. Today, we have organized G20. Today, India is the only country that can talk to Ukraine and to Russia, to US and to Israel and to Palestine. That's our strength, because of our economic strength, because of the strength of our diaspora that we harness. In UAE, a mandir in UAE, Ayodhya mein to bana hi bana, UAE mein bhi mandir khada ho gaya. This is what we have done, and we want to take this country forward, make it a developed country 2047. That's what we are offering. Just two very small points. Look, all through this show, Rohan had many opportunities to tell you what the vision of Congress was. He didn't give you one clear answer as to what the Congress wants to do for the next 5 years. So let them keep thinking about it 2029. But please don't interrupt me. Maria, please, I request you.
Yes,
but
we have just 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds, and I think I don't need more than 30 seconds. On the one hand, they say that we are in air or we are in arrogance. Pro-incumbency is a new word that has now become inscribed in the political dictionary of India, because in UP, government repeated. Uttarakhand, government repeated. Madhya Pradesh, 18 years, government repeated. Gujarat, 27 years, government repeated. This is because Modi means performance. Modi ki guarantee, BJP ki guarantee means delivering, and therefore, Congress has not repeated a government since 2011. This means we deliver and we are voted back to power.
All right.
We are voted back to service. And just one last word. I agree with what Sajan and Amitabh said. Sajan especially, the grammar of India's political lingo has changed. They need to accept that, stop dividing this country.
Shehzad, Rohan, Aditi Fadnis, Sajjan Kumar, Pulla Rao, Javed Ansari and Amitabh Tiwari, thank you so much for joining us on this topic of big fight. I'll be joining you next week. Thanks so much for watching.